So hi and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Adam Ashraf Bisafun Nazri. So today, me and my team from Group 16 will present our report of case study for Falsafah and Isu Semasa assignment. So our case study mainly focuses on the Malaysian education system, where our question is based off has Malaysia's exam-oriented education system failed the philosophical goal of holistic human development? The Malaysian education system mainly focuses on the aspect of academic development and neglects the other development of basic human needs and also social development. The background of our study states that the Malaysian education system often prioritize academic results and examinations. However, to the philosophical aspect, education emphasizes on the balanced growth of intellectual, emotional, moral, and social growth. So this is where our report and research comes in, whether we will determine does our exam-oriented system conflict with holistic education goals.
Okay, thank you, Adam. So, hi, I'm Daniel. Let me start with the problem statement. In Malaysia, academic success is often measured mainly through exam results. While exams are important, this approach can overlook other essential aspects of student development, such as creativity, moral values, and emotional well-being. So, as a result, many students experience high levels of stress and pressure. This raises an important concern. Are we prioritizing grades more than students' overall well-being and personal growth? So, from a philosophical perspective, education is meant to develop individuals holistically in terms of intellectually, emotionally, and morally. However, Malaysia's strong focus on examination make us question whether this broader purpose is truly being achieved. So now we're moving on to the objectives of this study. First, this study is aimed to investigate how an exam-focused system affects student critical thinking, emotional well-being, and moral development. Second, it seeks to understand both students' and teachers' perspective on success, not just in terms of grades, but also personal growth and character development. Third, we examine Malaysia's education system through philosophical lenses, especially ideas related to holistic education and human flourishing. Finally, this study purposes strategize to balance academic excellence with emotional and moral development so students can grow into well-rounded individuals.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. So now moving on to the significance of our study. Firstly, our findings highlight students' perception of Malaysia's exam-oriented education system. Most respondents believe that academic success is still heavily based on exam performance. Second, the study reveals the impact on critical thinking and creativity. Many students feel that memorization is prioritized over deeper understanding, which may limit independent thinking. Finally, this study connects education to philosophical goals. Ideally, education should promote holistic human development, including intellectual, emotional, and moral growth. Moving on to our study's research methodology, our study used a combination of quantitative survey and library research. We distributed a questionnaire through Google Forms consisting of Likert scale-based questions. Then the data was analyzed using percentages and pie charts. In addition, we also supported our findings with academic sources, including journal articles and books to provide a stronger philosophical foundation.
Thank you, Faris. For the literature review, a systematic review by Watrich in 2020 found that the final 2 years of secondary school often cause significant academic stress among students worldwide. Factors such as anxiety tendencies, gender, negative thoughts, and social attachment are associated with academic distress. Concern about high-stakes examination is also a major contributor to test anxiety that may affect student performance. Although moderate levels of test anxiety can motivate students, excessive anxiety has been shown to negatively impact academic performance and overall well-being. Based on social aspect, test anxiety tends to make students worry of high expectations from the community. Next, based on cognitive aspect, students might worry excessively of failure and test relevant thinking. Lastly, based on physiological wise, test anxiety might give students muscle tension and also heart rate accelerations.
Thank you, Hazim. Next, we will move on to the finding. From a total of 23 students of UTP respondent, a number of 42.9% has highly agreed that exam-oriented education has limits their creativity and independent thinking in their learning. For a total of 39.1% also highly agree that memorization is valued more than critical thinking in their learning experience. Then 21.7% highly agree and 39.1% agree that tuition and extra class are needed to succeed in their academic. Lastly, 52.2% highly agree and 43.5% agree that education should develop students as balanced individuals.
We're moving on to the discussion, which most of the respondents believe that the education system restricts independent and creative thinking. And this is proven by the rigid exam marking style during exams, such as SPM. And after that, most of the respondents also believe that the tuition are needed to strive academically, indicating that the presence of pressure perform in exams. They also believe that memorization is valued more rather than understanding the content deeply. Therefore, this suggests that education must develop students holistically and not only focusing on exams. So, to conclude, the Malaysian education system focused on ranking and technical skills has marginalized its core purpose, which is nurturing critical thinkers with moral integrity. To bridge the gap between paper qualification and true wisdom, reform must move beyond institutional prestige to prioritize character formation and intellectual independence, preparing students to be compassionate, engaged citizens rather than just skilled workers. And that's all from our group. Thank you.